What's going on, Sooner Nation? We got good news yesterday. It looks like there's going to be a defensive lineman that's going to be making his decision on April 10th. Could Oklahoma be seeing double commitments that day? That's what we're here to talk about. And guys, the month of April and the month of May, it's going to be a really good time for Oklahoma. Before we dive into it, though, I want to hear from y'all. So make sure you're joining the discussion. Jump down in the comments below. We're going to talk about a third silent commit, and I want you guys to tell me who you potentially think that is. So you can either drop that now or wait till we talk about it here towards the end of the video and give me your take off maybe the three prospects that I give you. But, oh yeah, like and subscribe. Make sure you comment. Thank you for tuning in to the PG Show. All right. We've wiped our feet. We've taken care of everything else that we need to. Okay, let's talk about these prospects, because if you're Oklahoma and you guys watched, was it last video or the video before, we talked about Trent Wilson because Oklahoma was receiving future casts and crystal balls and on-3 predictions. I believe you even got, which by the way, if y'all did not see the news that Steve Wiltfong is now at on-3 and he now has the Fong Bomb, that is way better than what it was previously called with this crystal ball. So, yeah, Fong Bomb there. You had Chad Simmons insert his predictions. A couple people from the Rivals side of things that had submitted predictions. And if you're OU, man, you're feeling really nice because you just lost Landon Rink. And that was a prospect that even if you watched it here on the show and you watched the interview that we did months ago, you would have thought, hey, like Landon Rink is a prospect that probably ends up in Oklahoma's class. And ultimately, you know, it really just came down to relationship at A&M and things like that. Just they really came into play. Now, Trent Wilson, on the other hand, this was a prospect that Oklahoma was like, all right, we lost Landon Rink. We need to go all in on a guy. Trent Wilson is going to be it, because if you look at what he's capable of and how he's climbing through the rankings, Trent Wilson could be a guy that is a top 100 player by the end of this cycle. But he will be making his commitment on April 10th, 6'3", 280 pounds, out of the same high school as Jalil Farouk, apparently. That's what people were saying in the Discord. So if you're Oklahoma and you get Trent Wilson and you get Kamori Moore with another prospect we're going to talk about at the end of the video, I mean, that's a good haul on the defensive line, right? You add more depth to a cycle where, quite frankly, this is probably one of your more stacked defensive line cycles in a while, where you got David Stone, Jade Jackson, Nigel Smith. Now, I look at the other one that they're potentially getting on April 10th. And I say potentially because nothing is set in stone in recruiting. And I think we have seen that over the years, right? Peyton Bowen with going to Oregon and then not signing the deal and ended up at OU. You had David Hicks. Yeah, we don't need to relive that conversation. Winery, things like that. But Malik Hawkins is on deck too. April 10th, 12 p.m. Central Time. Hey, Malik, if you're watching this video, you need to get with Trent Wilson and make sure you guys don't have them both at the same time. Make sure we spread that out a little bit. Make sure one's at 12, maybe one's a little bit later in the day or earlier in the morning. But no, seriously though, on a real note, Malik Hawkins, this would be an absolute phenomenal grab. Interesting is, though, Malik Hawkins is not ranked with 247 yet. I believe he's ranked with Rivals. I believe he's ranked with On3, but he's not ranked with 247. He's a 4-star on Rivals. I mean, this is a guy that I was looking at the class calculator today with Jay and Cooper, and I said, if Oklahoma lands these guys, they'll be somewhere in the 296, right? Doing a very soft prediction kind of thing with what's left in the class. And I said, about 296. And I said, I was looking at it. There's a chance Oklahoma doesn't have a single 3-star in this class. A lot of these guys that are 3-stars or maybe are unranked, I think we're going to see quickly rise through the rankings, especially as they attend more camps, go through senior seasons. Like, there's a chance Oklahoma might not have a single 3-star in this class, which is going to be phenomenal in and of itself. So if you're an Oklahoma fan, we'll have to keep our eyes on that one, and we will definitely talk about that more as a later date. And if you guys want, drop down in the comments below, let me know, and I can run through what I think the potential of this class will be with the class calculator and everything. So if you guys want that, just jump down and let me know. But Malik Hawkins, Trent Wilson, right now, same day, April 10th, going to be exciting there. There is One more prospect, though, that I think we need to talk about, because you guys might have seen Kevin Sperry and making his tweet, where him and Brent Venables are kind of doing the punching thing. And that always signifies, hey, there's a silent commit in the class. Someone's about to pop off. Well, we saw one not too long ago. Like, we've seen Kevin Sperry post like 3 or 4 of these, I think, if I'm correct. And I think we have 2 of them down, Malik Hawkins and Trent Wilson. I think we've narrowed those 2. The last one, though, and I want to get a couple confirmations on it before I come out here and say I think this is going to be it. I'm hearing maybe it's Tristan Haynes, but again, I want to confirm a couple more things with a couple more people. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, because you've got Cole Breiler as well. You guys remember that prospect? Someone we really haven't talked a whole lot about. I think he's like a 3-star right now with On3 and 247, and a 4-star with Rivals. And Rivals has him as like the 18th defensive lineman in the class. Cole Breiler will be a 4-star by the end of the cycle with probably all of the recruiting services. And I really don't count ESPN because I just don't like their evaluation. I just don't agree with it. I think 247 is the best evaluation. And then On3 and Rivals, I don't really pay enough attention to their guys. But with 247, Ty and myself kind of agree that 247 is kind of the best when it comes to that. But Cole Breiler's got his recruitment down to 3 schools: Stanford, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. The interesting thing here is, when you look at these schools, he's been to Ohio State once. He's never been to Stanford. He's been to Oklahoma twice. Oklahoma's getting the last official visit here in June. Party at the Palace. You'd have to imagine that Oklahoma's going to close on this. But like we saw with Landon Rink, could it happen earlier and then maybe you just don't have those other visits happen? Because that's what Landon Rink's saying right now. He's saying the other visits will not happen. Now, I will be watching to see if he attends Party at the Palace, because that's when he was originally slated, and things do. I think that's going to be interesting. But I look at the 3 prospects that we need to be paying attention to, maybe for a silent commit, because, again, I don't want to say it's Tristan Haynes when I'm not sure yet. So let's say Tristan Haynes, Cole Breiler, and guys, I really like Marion Robinson. I really do. So I want you guys to give me your take. Which one of those 3 prospects do you think it could be? Because I think Cole Breiler is definitely on the verge here. I think this is one you could see pop off for Oklahoma really at any time. I mean, it seems like Oklahoma is the leader there. They are the favorite. They have predictions in favor of them. Tristan Haynes, a guy that's from Carl Albert. I think a lot of people expected him to commit back when James committed. And then Tristan Haynes is kind of dragged out. But you all also understand he's got some of the best offers of any other prospect in this class. I mean, look, Georgia's wanting him. So I do want to say, because I talked about this in the Discord the other night, Kobe Sellers. I think this one will get closed either late April to early May. Here's why. Jay Vulai, dude's doing a massive work on that. But every time that we sit down to talk to Sellers himself, or we talk to somebody around Sellers, the hype around Oklahoma is always there. Now, as a lot of you guys have mentioned in the Discord and things like that, some of you guys are afraid of LSU. And in conversations I've had, families out there, I don't know if LSU's as big of a player as some people think. He was just out of A&M. I know he had a good time there. But I'm not going to lie, guys. Anytime you talk to Kobe Sellers, the dude's just super high on Oklahoma. And so I think there's a chance Oklahoma ends up with 4 or 5 commits all the way from April through May. And you might see all of those pop in a month. They might stagger out a little bit. But right now, Oklahoma, it feels like they're heading to be on a heater. And then you're getting into the month of June where you're going to have official visits. You would imagine Oklahoma's going to close on at least 1 5-star offensive lineman during that time. And they'll probably close on a couple other big-time prospects. So if you're an Oklahoma fan, it's a good time to be an OU fan because recruiting's about to heat up. We're probably going to have 99% of our class locked up before the season. So if you're an Oklahoma fan, you'd like to hear that. No drama going into the season. But Want to hear from y'all. So make sure you guys are joining the discussion, jumping down in the comments below, giving me your guys' opinions, your thoughts. Which one of those three prospects do you think potentially be the silent commit that Kevin Sperry is leaning to? Of course, we'll kind of update you guys as I get a little bit more confirmation on where that one is. And then additionally, YouTube wants you guys to watch one of these two videos. So make sure you guys are tuning into those as well.